Peace, love, family. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Monte. I'm your host. For those of you who are new, thank you for joining me. For those of you who have returned, thank you for returning. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. What we want to talk about today is the fact that, ladies, he's going to cheat. You heard me right. Ladies, he's going to cheat. Now, why do I say that? And do that mean everybody? No, not everybody. Most of us are gonna cheat. You know why? We've been groomed to cheat, directly and indirectly. And ladies, you have a role in promoting our promiscuity. Yes, you do have a role, so you must accept your role as well, and we would accept ours. So let's get down to the facts. So when I'm talking about men in general, but when I'm talking specifically in this instance right now, I'm talking specifically about the conditioning of the African American male in a society that he was bred to be from his slave ancestral roots and genetic inheritance. He was bred to be a buck. He was bred to spread himself around, and this was a direct consequence of slavery. It was something that was practiced over and over and over again. If you understand genetics and you understand epigenetics, you understand that the genes that we receive from those who are our parents or those who have come before us, we don't only receive the genes from our parents, we receive the genes that they receive. And genes are considered sometimes to be transgenerational, meaning that they can skip generation and manifest themselves in generations on down the line. So with that being the case, and if they are correct when it comes to the gene propensities, then we're talking about actually being bred and actually being an inheritance of ours, that for most of those who are descendants of slaves, we come from a long line of males that were bred as you breed dogs and horses to impregnate women for further use of their offspring. Now that's one of the reasons. Now the other reason is this: we're in a society that promotes sex. And if you understand anything about biology, anything about the nature of the human species or any species, its number one priority is to reproduce. It's natural for the species to reproduce, and it's gonna reproduce or it will cease to exist, meaning it will not survive if it doesn't produce or reproduce. And this is built in our genes, this is built in our biology to force us to want to reproduce. So with that being the case, and you ladies having a beautiful shape, beautiful bodies, and we're naturally inclined to pursue you in a sexual manner for the survival of the species, then do you not think that this is a temptation that individuals will be able to resist over and over again? No, it's not, and it's proven not to be. So we must take into consideration all the things that we have accepted as a culture of people that promotes all this sex in our face, and then expect for men not to be promiscuous or not to seek to spread themselves amongst women. Another thing specifically amongst those of us who are African American, those of us who are descendants of slaves, one of the things I've learned from my conversations with people and my own introspection of self is that the power that we lack in the society as a whole, we demonstrate that power through our sexual energy amongst the different women that we encounter, amongst the women that we engage. So this gives us a sense of power where we know, or we may not admit, where we know pretty much we are powerless in the global order of things at this point. Most of us are. That's what I'm saying. So with that being the case, there are several reasons that he's going to cheat. And women, what you can do is you can recognize when you're dealing with a dude that has love for you that may end up taking a path on the outside and playing somewhere else, and a dude that doesn't really have any real love for you and is just playing games. You must be able to distinguish that. I'm not telling you you must accept infidelity or cheating. You have the right to cut anybody off, a good dude or a bad dude. But you better understand the difference. And you better understand it's not just because he a so-called dog, X, Y, Z. There are a lot of things going on that are making him incline in that direction. And you have a responsibility. Society has a responsibility. And we have a responsibility as individuals. Stop dangling meat in front of a dog. And then when he bite that damn meat, you mad at him because he bite meat. He's a meat eater by nature. This is the same thing with the male who is in tune with his manliness. If you keep putting it out there in front of him, it's going to entice him. And if he get a chance to bite it, he's definitely going to bite it. It is what it is. Own up to your end. I own up to my end. And society needs to own up to its end because it promotes this type of foolishness and then tries to condemn it in the same breath. Hypocrites. Peace, love.